Hello and welcome to Midday Update with me, Antra Bose. Coming up are the headlines for the day. His Majesty the Sultan and King of Belgium hold official talks. Oman Cricket announces partnership with Mazoon Dairy. Oman's Finance Ministry SFD signs MOUs worth Omani Riyal 94 million. Muscat Expressway to be temporarily closed for maintenance. Biden says US troop deployment to Europe totally consistent with what he told Putin. UAE destroys 3 drones with hostile intent. Under-19 World Cup, Dhul and Rashid star as India defeat Australia to clash against England in final. Those were the headlines. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the COVID-19 updates. Also, TTV was there at the signing ceremony between Oman Cricket and Mazoon Dairy, so we'll cover that too. Stay tuned.
Play. You listen.
You talk. We listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Coming up are the COVID-19 updates for the day. 5 new COVID-19 related deaths have been registered in the Sultan, taking the total death toll because of COVID-19 to 4,158. In addition, as many as 1,998 new cases of coronavirus were registered, which brings the total number of positive COVID-19 cases to 346,041. The ministry added that 1,636 new cases have recovered, bringing the total number of recoveries to 319,220. And now for the local stories. An official session of talks have been held between His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq and King of Belgium at Al Alam Palace, Oman News Agency said. A statement issued online by ONA said, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq and King Philip Leopold Louis Marie, King of Belgium, held an official session of talks at Al Alam Palace. During the session, they reviewed the good relations between the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Belgium and the cooperation between them in various fields that serve common interests of the two friendly nations, ONA added. In a ceremony conducted at the Oman Cricket Academy on Thursday, Mazoon Dairy was unveiled as the governing body's grassroots and nourishment partner. One of Oman Cricket's goals has been to secure the sport's long-term future in the country and build a pipeline that produces homegrown players of an international standard on a regular basis. This partnership is seen by key stakeholders of the organization as one that reaffirms that commitment. Speaking of the partnership, Mr. Pankaj Khimji, chairman of Oman Cricket, enthused. I am beyond ecstatic today. As they say, the cream always rises to the top, and by focusing on values such as sustainable growth and community empowerment, Mazoon Dairy has done exactly that over the past 5 years. These are ideals that we at Oman Cricket share too, so it is a real pleasure to announce Mazoon Dairy as our grassroots and nourishment partner. Dr. Arjun Subramaniam, Chief Executive Officer of Mazoon Dairy, also expressed his delight at having put pen to paper on the mutually beneficial pact. He said, Healthy lifestyle is one of the goals and vision of Mazoon Dairy Company, through which we seek to encourage consumers to adopt a healthy, more active and inviting lifestyle. We join efforts of Oman Cricket in promoting sports and physical activity as priority for all segments of society. We are delighted to be a key partner for Oman Cricket and to keep Mazoon products to be the healthy and nutritious choice for all participants. Both establishments are optimistic that this partnership will be a fruitful one, with local cricket talents gaining more exposure than ever before. Let's take a look at the signing ceremony from earlier today.
Oman Cricket is embarking on its journey to qualify for the 2 World Cups in 22 and 23 the T20I World Cup in 22 and in India, in Australia, and the 2023 ODI World Cup in India. And with that in mind, we again, in accordance with the ICC regulations, we could have one sponsor. And we said that there's one company who's really stood out, and like us, who's growing in stature and growing in recognition, homegrown, and who better than Mazoon? And we're very, very grateful that they've agreed to come and sponsor and partner us. So this is a journey of partnership, a journey to victory, and journey to qualification of the World Cup.
On behalf of Mazoon Dairy Company, gives us great pleasure to be associated with Oman Cricket Academy. Mazoon has grown in its stature since its inception. We have become a brand of national pride. So it also gives us a perfect platform to associate ourselves with Oman Cricket Academy, which is also growing in its stature and bringing a game which soon will be a national pride as well. So it's perfect synergies, and we thank Oman Cricket Academy to give us this opportunity to be associated as well in supporting the game of cricket. It's very important that this game brings in a sort of togetherness, team building. It's all about fun and bringing kids together. So it's all about families. So everything is put into this in the game of cricket. Similarly, when it comes to growing talent as well, exposing them to the international arena. Hopefully, there's another game and there's another arena which the youngsters can come in and expose themselves. So Mazoon is very proud to be part of this partnership and support. It is also in the philosophy of Mazoon. It's all about, instilling the sense of heritage, a sense of identity, and bringing up Oman as a brand. And what not a better platform than OCA and the game of cricket, which does all this with the local talent.
That was from earlier today. Meanwhile, 3 agreements have been signed by the Ministry of Finance with Saudi Fund for Development at a cost of Omani Riyal 94 million. According to Oman News Agency, the Ministry of Finance signed 3 memorandum of understandings with the Saudi Fund for Development to support small and medium enterprises in the Sultanate of Oman and to finance infrastructure development projects in the Special Economic Zone amounting to about Omani Riyal 94 million. Muscat Expressway will be temporarily closed for maintenance work from today till February 6, 2022, said the Muscat Municipality. In cooperation with the Directorate General of Traffic, the Muscat Municipality will partially close the Muscat Expressway from Al Kurum after the Al Alam Bridge for those coming from Al Kurum towards Seeb, starting from this evening until Sunday, February 6, 2022, for the purpose of maintaining the damaged parts of the street. Please be careful and follow the given traffic instructions, Muscat Municipality said in a statement. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be right back.
We play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. US President Joe Biden has said that his decision to deploy several thousand more troops to Europe over the Ukraine crisis is totally consistent with what he has told Russian President Vladimir Putin. The US Defense Department announced that extra US forces will be deployed to Poland, Germany, and Romania in the next several days. Biden said that his order is totally consistent with what he has told Putin since the beginning, according to the White House. As long as he's acting aggressively, we are going to make sure we reassure our NATO allies in Eastern Europe that we're there and Article 5 is a sacred obligation, Biden said. The Defense Department is sending 2,000 US troops to Europe in the next several days in response to the Ukraine crisis, Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said on Wednesday. Most of the 2,000 troops will be deployed in Poland and the deployment will be temporal, he said. Moreover, Kirby added that approximately 1,000 US troops currently based in Germany will be moved to Romania at the invitation of Bucharest. At the same time, the Defense Department does not exclude that the decision will be made to transfer additional US forces to Eastern Europe or to redeploy military contingents within Europe in the coming days or weeks, Kirby said, adding that the decisions will depend on the development of the situation on the Ukrainian border with Russia. Kirby also underscored that all newly announced troop deployments in Europe are separate from the 8,500 US troops being already on heightened alert since late January. The US military is sent to Eastern Europe not to fight in Ukraine, but to ensure the defense of the NATO allies and partners, he added. The UAE has said that it intercepted 3 drones with hostile intent and destroyed those objects which penetrated the country's airspace on Wednesday. The Ministry of Defense announces interception and destruction away from populated areas of 3 hostile drones that penetrated UAE airspaces at dawn on 2/2/2022, said the UAE Ministry of Defense on Wednesday. MOD confirms it is ready to deal with any threats and is taking all necessary measures to protect the state and its territory. It came days after US military personnel responded to an inbound missile threat by Houthis on the UAE during the Israeli president's visit to the country. This involved the employment of Patriot interceptors coincident to efforts by the armed forces of the UAE, said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Monday. In recent weeks, the UAE has faced several attacks by Houthis. On January 17, 3 fuel tanks exploded near depots of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. The blast was caused by a drone hit. Now for the sports stories. Yash Thul and Sheikh Rashid's knock with a bat were supported by a spirited bowling performance as India defeated Australia by 96 runs in the second semi-final of the ongoing Under-19 World Cup at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. India will now lock horns against England in the final of the tournament on Saturday. Sheikh Rashid and Yash Thul put on the second biggest partnership of the tournament, adding 204 runs for the third wicket after a shaky start for the men in blue. Australia never got going in their reply to 290 as leading wicket-taker Vicky Oswald took 3 for 42 with Australia eventually bowled out for 194. They will now face Afghanistan in the 3rd or 4th place playoff on Friday before the grand finale between England and India on Saturday. India got off to a slow start having won the toss and chosen to bat. Openers Ankrish Raghuvanshi and Harnoon Singh added just 16 runs in 7.4 overs before the former was dismissed by a pearler from William Salzman. Singh would follow, having made 16 from 28 before Sheikh Rashid and captain Yash Thul put on a strong third wicket stand, reaching their 50 partnership of 78 balls, 1 delivery into the second half of the innings. Thul then proceeded to find the boundary with increasing regularity, taking advantage of wayward bowling by Salzman. The skipper was joined in a half-century by Rashid as India passed 150 with just 2 wickets gone. The pair then passed 140 runs between them, and as they did, Australia missed a golden chance to end the partnership. Salzman found the ball in his hand with a chance to secure a near certain run out. The pressure told as the ball ballooned on its way to the stumps and India survived. Dhul then brought up his first century for India, coming off 106 balls with the 200 partnership following soon after. Australia would then secure their run out as Dhul was forced to go for a run aboard 110 before Rashid was out the very next ball, falling 6 runs short of his own 100. Those were the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.